students, today we are going to discuss the last topic of chapter solutions, that is abnormal molar masses. So let's start our topic abnormal molar masses in electrolytic solutions. So all the relations of colligative properties which we described earlier are only applicable to non-electrolytic solutions in which there is no association or dissociation of solute, and for the solutions which are dilute. But in case of electrolytic solutions which dissociate completely or partially in solutions, the number of particles increases, or in other case, if the solution is concentrated, there is association between the particles and the number of particles decreases, and thus give rise to abnormal molar masses. This is because, as we know that all the colligative properties depend upon the number of solute particles. So if the solute gets associated or dissociated in solvent, then the number of solute particles decreases or increases respectively. So due to which the molar masses which we can calculate from colligative properties becomes abnormal. So the accurate value of molar masses can be obtained only if the following two conditions are satisfied. First is the solution should be dilute, and second is the solute must not dissociate or associate in solution. Let's discuss first case in which there is association of solute particles take place. In this, the number of particles decreases, which results into the lowering in colligative property values. Since colligative property is inversely proportional to molar mass, thus in this case molar masses will be greater than the theoretical values. For example, in ethanoic acid, it exists as a dimer due to the formation of hydrogen bonds as shown below. As shown in the diagram, if there are two molecules of acetic acid or ethanoic acid in the solution, then due to formation of hydrogen bonds, the two molecules form dimer and associate to become a one molecule. On the other hand, if there is dissociation of solute particles, the molecules of electrolytes such as acids, bases and salts dissociate in a solvent to give two or more particles. Thus, with the increase in number of particles, the colligative property values increases and molar masses will be lower than the theoretical value. For example, if we have 1 mole of KCl, then in solution it dissociate to give 1 mole of K positive ions and 1 mole of Cl negative ions. So the overall particles in solution now become 2 moles, not 1 mole. Thus, this abnormality in molar masses will be only in case of electrolytic solutions in which there is dissociation or association of solute particles, due to which there is increase or decrease in the number of particles respectively in solution. So, to correct this abnormality in molar masses, Van't Hoff introduced a factor called Van't Hoff factor, iota, or we can say I, is defined as the ratio of the normal molar masses to the observed molar masses or abnormal molar masses of the solute. That is, iota is equal to normal molar mass divided by observed molar mass. So, three cases may arise. First is for solutes which do not undergo association or dissociation, this I is equal to 1. And second case, if solutes undergoing association, then I is less than 1. And third is for the solutes undergoing dissociation, I is always greater than 1. Since the molar masses are inversely proportional to the colligative property, Van't Hoff factor may also be defined as the ratio of the observed value of colligative property to the normal value of colligative property. That means I is equal to observed value of colligative property divided by normal value of colligative property. Thus, various expressions of colligative properties are modified where association and dissociation take place in solutes. So first, relative lowering in vapor pressure becomes Pa naught minus P upon Pa naught is equal to I into XB. So here new term I, that is Van't Hoff factor, is introduced. Second, elevation in boiling point becomes delta TB is equal to I kbm. Third, depression in freezing point becomes equal to delta TF is equal to I kfm. And osmotic pressure becomes pi is equal to I into CRT. So our next topic is how we can find out the extent of dissociation or association of solute particles. So let's discuss first case, degree of dissociation. It is the fraction of total substance that undergo dissociation into ions. So degree of dissociation is equal to number of moles of the substance dissociated divided by total number of moles of substance taken. Suppose a molecule gives small m ions after dissociation, and if we start with 1 mole of solute and alpha is the degree of dissociation, so the number of moles of solute left undissociated becomes equal to 1 minus alpha, and number of moles of ions formed, it is equal to m into alpha. So total number of moles of particles becomes 1 minus alpha plus m into alpha. So as we discussed earlier, Van't Hoff factor I is equal to observed number of moles of solute divided by normal number of solute. So it is equal to 1 minus alpha plus m into alpha divided by 1. So from here, alpha can be calculated as I minus 1 divided by m minus 1. So knowing the value of I, alpha can be calculated. So let's understand this concept by doing one numerical problem. 1.5 gram of barium nitrate dissolved in 100 gram of water shows a depression in freezing point equal to 0.28 degrees Celsius. What is the percentage dissociation of the salt? Kf for water is given 1.86 Kelvin kilogram per mole, and molar mass of barium nitrate is 261, that is also given. So let's see what is given to us. Weight of solute, that is barium nitrate, 1.5 gram. Molar mass of barium nitrate, that is also given, 261 gram per mole. Weight of solvent, that is what, 100 gram. And depression in freezing point, delta TF, is also given, 0.28 degrees Celsius. So from here, the observed molar mass MB is equal to Kf into Wb upon delta Tf into Wa multiplied by 1000. By putting their respective values, the observed molar mass comes out to be 99.64. So now, Van't Hoff factor I is equal to normal molar mass divided by observed molar mass, which is equal to normal molar mass, which is given to us 261, and observed molar mass that we can calculate 99.64. It comes out to be 2.62. So in case of barium nitrate, when solute dissolved in water, it dissociate to give cations and ions. So barium nitrate dissociate to give one barium 2 positive ion and two NO3 negative, that is nitrate ions. So initial concentration which we have taken before association or dissociation, it is equal to 1 mole. So at that time there are no moles of barium ions or nitrate ions. So if there is alpha degree of dissociation, then the concentration after dissociation becomes 1 minus alpha of barium nitrate, and alpha is for barium ions and 2 alpha is for nitrate ions. So I is equal to observed number of moles of solute divided by normal number of moles of solute, which becomes equal to 1 minus alpha plus alpha of barium ions plus 2 alpha of nitrate ions divided by 1, that is the initial concentration. That is equal to the value of I, that is 2.62. So from here alpha can be calculated as 2.62 minus 1 divided by 2, which comes out to be 1.62 divided by 2, or it comes out to be 0.81 or 81% dissociation. The second case, that is degree of association. It is the fraction of total number of molecules which combine together to form associated molecule. So degree of association is equal to number of moles of the substance associated divided by total number of moles of substance taken. Suppose n simple molecules of the solute associated to form AN. That means n number of molecules of capital A becomes equal to AN. That means now the molecule becomes bigger and the number of molecules also decreases. And if we start with 1 mole of capital A and alpha is the degree of association, the concentration of species after association becomes equal to alpha upon n. And the concentration of species unassociated, that is 1 minus alpha. So the total number of moles after association is the sum of associated and unassociated molecules. So it becomes 1 minus alpha plus alpha upon n. So from here Want Hoff factor I is equal to 1 minus alpha plus alpha upon n divided by 1. Or we can write as I is equal to 1 plus alpha into 1 upon n minus 1. Or alpha is equal to I minus 1 upon n minus 1. But as we know, I is equal to normal molar mass divided by observed molar mass. Thus, by knowing the value of I, alpha, the degree of association can be calculated. So let's understand the concept of association of solutes by doing one numerical problem. 3.9 gram of benzoic acid dissolved in 49 gram of benzene shows a depression and freezing point of 1.62 Kelvin. Calculate the Want Hoff factor and predict the nature of solute, associated or dissociated. Given that the molar mass of benzoic acid is 122 gram per mole and Kf for benzene is 4.9 Kelvin kilogram per mole. So let's see what is given to us, that is weight of solute Wb of benzoic acid is given 3.9 gram. Molar mass of solute Mb is also given, that is 122 gram per mole. Weight of solvent, that is benzene, Wa 49 gram, and Kf for benzene is 4.9 Kelvin kilogram per mole. So as from depression and freezing point, delta Tf is equal to IKFM, or delta Tf is equal to I into Kf into Wb upon Mb into Wa multiplied by 1000. So by putting their respective values, delta Tf is equal to 1.62, which is equal to I into 4.9 into 3.9 divided by 122 into 49 multiplied by 1000. So from here I can be calculated, which comes out to be 0.506. Since the value of I is less than 1, so the solute is associated in this problem. So if you like my videos, please share with other students and subscribe my channel. Click the bell icon for further updates. Thanks for watching.